This is the story of why I want to be a teacher. My name is Alicia Snook, and I am a recent graduate of Ramapo College. I received my bachelor's degree in literature and have returned to complete my K-12 teaching certificate in the content areas of English and history. I didn't always want to be a teacher, but looking back, it makes complete sense that I eventually made this decision. Let me start from the beginning. I grew up in a small rural town called Hampton, New Jersey. I attended Marion E. McEwen Elementary School and exhibited a love of learning from the start. Throughout my younger life, academics came easily to me, but if anyone were to ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, teaching was not on my list. In fact, when I was younger, I wanted to go to school for music. I started singing in chorus at a young age and auditioned for chorale as soon as I could in the 4th grade. After that, I auditioned for every choral group I possibly could, which led me to sing in places like Quebec, Canada, Carnegie Hall in New York City, Boston Symphony Hall in Massachusetts, many cities throughout Italy, and the Pacific Summer Music Festival directed by Weston Noble. I sang and competed for spots with other singers all throughout New Jersey. Music was my main focus most of my academic career, but that's not to say that I didn't participate in other activities. I was active in science clubs and Battle of the Books, while also starting my own program called Book Buddies. Each younger child was assigned an older book buddy who would read to them once a week to promote literacy at a young age. Throughout these years, I also participated in soccer, dance, Girl Scouts, tennis, horseback riding, and cheerleading. Although I was doing well in my extracurricular activities, my parents started to notice that math was proving to be a difficult subject for me. While I excelled in other subject matter, math would keep me doing homework for hours. I had never had a problem with school, but I began dreading my math periods. My friends would complete tests and homework with ease, while I struggled with almost every question, something I was not used to. I kept up with my extracurriculars through high school, dropping soccer only to add theater, graphic design, and student council. I auditioned for and was cast in every high school musical and even a straight play. As I got older, I became a mentor to the younger student actors, teaching them how to remember dances and apply their stage makeup. I also became somewhat of a mentor in my singing groups, helping younger students practice our songs by holding sectionals whenever I could. I enjoyed helping the younger students learn and joined some extra leadership programs my sophomore year of high school. I participated in peer leadership, where older students helped middle schoolers transition into the big change of high school. We did training over the summers, participating in team-building exercises, and gained a better sense of leadership. Another leadership program I was active in was the Lindsay Meyer Teen Institute. Students applied to be sent to the leadership camp for a week on scholarship. If accepted, the students spent a week away from all technology, listening to speakers, breaking down high school stereotypes, and learning how to be an effective role model for younger students. Even through all of these programs and extracurricular activities working with younger students, I still had not acquired a desire to teach. Alongside music, I had gained an appreciation for biology. With this newfound appreciation, I began mapping out routes of what I could possibly do in this field. The only thing that made sense to me at the time was to become a veterinarian. I always had a strong love for animals and still do to this day. Being a vet was what made sense to me at the time, and so I went with it. I abandoned everything. I graduated high school and chose to go to Ramapo College and pursue a degree in biology. It didn't take me very long to realize that biology was not for me. My struggles with math had resurfaced, and I hated the feeling of falling behind and not understanding my classes. After a year of trying, I switched my major to literature. I had always loved to read, and writing came naturally, so it seemed like an obvious choice. I became much less frustrated with school and once again began to excel in academics. The only problem was that I had no idea what to do with a literature degree. My whole life, people had been telling me I would be a great teacher, and I kept ignoring their pushes towards education. I decided to wait out any decisions on career choices and see where literature took me. In the meantime, I took a job with the YWCA working at an after-school program at Jesse George Elementary School. I had so much fun being around the kids and could always guarantee that there was never a dull moment. In this time, I also started babysitting for the most amazing family, and of course, their adorable puppy, Finn. It was during this time I realized how much I love working with children. Teaching them new things and being able to help them understand difficult topics became the highlights of my day with them. Even though I had discovered my love of working with children, I was still struggling with the idea of being a teacher. In order to figure things out, I went to my senior year environmental science teacher, Mr. Chamberlain. He plays a huge part in my decision to become a teacher, not only because of our talk, but also because he is one of the most amazing teachers I have ever had. My hope in teaching is that one day I will be even half the inspiration to my students as he has been to me. He made my learning experience hands-on and interesting, and I hope I can do the same for my future students. I believe that a classroom needs to be flexible enough in order to adapt to all of its students, and that is exactly what Mr. Chamberlain did. Someone else who has always influenced my decision to teach was my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Kadar. More than anything, she influences the way I wish to teach. I always wanted to do well in her class and looked forward to going. She had a wonderful upbeat feel to her personality and was always enthusiastic about what she was teaching, making the topic interesting to learn about. Both of these teachers had high expectations for me, and I would most likely not be on the path to teaching if it weren't for them. Although both of my teachers played a large part in my decision to be a teacher myself, my biggest influence is my 15-year-old sister. For the most part, academics came easily to me, but my sister always seemed to struggle a little more and have to put extra effort in constantly. I have watched her suffer through teachers who will only explain things one way, not taking into consideration all the different learning styles present in their class, or simply not caring. It is amazing to see how drastically one good teacher can change a student's entire outlook on school, and how by simply taking a different approach to teach the same subject matter can be extremely helpful. She has shown me that it is important to know all of your students and their academic needs, while also doing your best to make class fun and interesting. I graduated Ramapo in May of 2013. Throughout my years at Ramapo, I joined Delta Phi Epsilon sorority, gaining some of the most amazing experiences of my life. I had the opportunity to attend a Greek leadership conference where we learned about unity and respect within Greek life. I also had the amazing experience of staying up for 24 hours to raise money for the American Cancer Society at Relay for Life. Since being back at Ramapo, I have been observing an English class at Mahwah High School, and I have already learned so much from my cooperating teacher. There are so many aspects to a classroom, and little by little, I am learning how to manage them all. I expect to constantly learn from my students as much as they learn from me, because I believe that as a teacher, you are never fully done furthering your education and learning new things. That is my story of why I want to be a teacher, and the journey of how I came to make that choice. I finally know what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I can't wait to get started.